Well. So DBD Twitter has kind of exploded again, and so have a lot of YouTube comment sections to a certain degree. The debate of creators purposefully lowering their MMR has kind of started up again. I don't really get it. I don't think anybody purposely deranks their MMR. I even made fun of this idea in theory in one of my titles a couple videos ago, because it's really silly. I don't think anyone out there does that or even wants to do that. But, you know, True made a poll on Twitter, and, you know, I get it. He is a killer main, and I understand it. He wanted to just get people's opinions. And he wrote, how many people do you guys think D-rank lower their MMR on Dead by Daylight? Some are very obvious, but curious on your guys' perception. So here's our poll. And this tweet, my issue with this sentiment, and I think he's just misguided and mistaken on this. I think the whole misconception of MMR, especially on Survivor side, is that if you go against a killer who might be new, that means you derank your MMR, and that's what a lot of people think kind of nowadays, but that's really just not true. The MMR system is so busted that you will go against newer players when you have thousands of hours, and it's not really anything that you have to do with it. And when you play as killer with MMR, you still sometimes go against very new players. But a lot of the time, if your MMR is high on killer, you're going to be going against comp squads. And that's not very fun either. It's not fun to roll a team, and it's not fun to get rolled. I'd rather it be a close and intense match. But nevertheless, this debate has kind of started up again, and I kind of just wanted to put my opinion in there. I just think it's really silly when people try to claim that creators are deranking their MMR purposely. Because if you look at it this way, a creator spends what does someone do during the day? All right, they spend 8 hours sleeping every day. Hopefully, I would hope so. And then if you're a consistent streamer, you probably spend an average of 4 hours every day. Okay, so we're up to 12. And if you're a consistent creator, then you're probably going to spend about 4 hours also on editing. All right, so that's 16 right there. And do you have a social life? Yeah, you probably do. Probably two hours maybe right there. So that's what, 18? Even if there's a large number of hours left in the day, who in the hell would want to spend more of that time on Dead by Daylight purposely deranking their MMR? That's a serious question. I don't know who in their right mind would want to do that. Listen, I love Dead by Daylight, but when I'm done with editing, when I'm done with streaming, I need a break from the game. Because if I spend more time on it, then I'm gonna burn myself out faster, and it's not gonna be fun. So I don't really know who would want to derank their MMR purposely for hours and hours and hours on end. But this sentiment keeps being brought up, and I don't think it's creators' faults for going against newer players. These are the same people who argue that MMR doesn't work, and we also argue that. So I don't know what people are really getting at with this whole debate, because nobody really likes MMR. Well, some people do. Not many do, though. And I personally like the old ranking system. It placed you against your same actual like ranks, like rank 1. But the MMR system, you know, some people don't even realize now that it's no longer has anything to do with your grade rank. So you can go against a rainbow list, like you could be Ash and you could go against Iridescent. And some people still think, oh my god, why is the system not working? But it's just grades. Grades are only time played. They have nothing to do with skill. They have nothing to do with rank. It is just time played during that rank period. But yeah, I don't really get it with the whole deranking MMR situation. There have been some people claiming that creators are doing this so they can bully new players, which again, I don't think is the case. And I think it's very disingenuous to say that type of stuff, because I think if we all had the choice, we would all remove MMR, because it is actively killing off a part of Dead by Daylight's fan base, the veteran players. And yeah, I just don't think it's that good. True also put out, when do you think Survivor mains on Dead by Daylight will stop gatekeeping killers' gameplay by belittlement and insults? It creates this very controlling and toxic relationship that I am sure many people playing killer have to experience, whether we ignored it or addressed it. To be fair, he's not necessarily wrong, but also, you know, it's not like killers. There are some killers that also don't act toxic. I hate to use the word toxic because, again, toxic basically has no meaning anymore. People use it in any regard. If you play well, if you DC, that's toxic. Like, I don't really want to use the word anymore, but I kind of understand what he means, but I don't really agree. I do think killers can be just as rude as just as rude as survivors, and I think this happens in every game, and really the only thing you can do about it is just move on, ignore it. The more attention you give to these people who are trying to annoy you, it's just gonna make them want to do it more because they got a reaction out of you. They successfully accomplished that. So most of the responses to True's original tweet as well about deranking MMR, a lot of people did think it was kind of silly, and MMR does not work, and I think promoting this type of argument is only going to give creators aim towards Survivor more hate. I've only started recently getting back into Survivor. As you know, on Twitch, I do mostly play Killer because queue times for Killer are much faster than Survivor, so that is a big factor in what I will play. But lately, I've been enjoying a lot of Survivor, and I've been running, you know, perks like No Mither all game because I like having a challenge, because it's giving myself a handicap is a lot more fun in certain situations. And I still think, like, yeah, sometimes I do go against newer players, but do I control that? No. Once I get off stream from doing a 6-hour stream, I go to bed, wake up, edit, make a video, relax, do it all over again. I'm not going to spend 6 hours after every stream deranking my MMR purposely. That is the biggest waste of time I can ever think. This argument of deranking MMR, I think, is just really, really silly. And I don't think any person has ever done it. I know one or two people who have actually admitted to doing it. One person who was trying to go for a 500 demo win streak had admitted that he purposely deranked MMR to be able to go against Bedrock Survivor players. I think people are using these type of situations as a straw man argument, where they take one example of someone deranking their MMR purposely and apply it to the rest of killers and survivors in certain situations. And again, I just think that's disingenuous, and we shouldn't be looking at it like that. Hell, even some people who consistently do win streaks for their content, their MMR must be extremely high at this point, because you win so many times in a row as Survivor that the system is like, well, now you must be like a god, basically. So how are they getting placed against certain people who are lower rank? It's just because of the system. It's not really the creator's fault. And again, people take this and try to apply it to everybody. Even I did a nurse win streak about a week or so ago, and I only got to 25, which isn't a bad number considering MMR, but it was only 25. And even during that streak, I faced some newer players. And even after that streak, when I lost it, I faced some newer players. So the MMR system obviously does not work. People are going to go against baby killers. People are going to go against baby survivors. It happens. It's not really the person's fault. It's just don't hate the player, hate the game, honestly. Those are my thoughts on it. I don't think people derank their MMR personally, and I think it's just a bad argument. Very disingenuous and bad argument. But other than that, we'll see you all in the next one.